Okay, so someone wanted to talk about some of the haunted places in Pennsylvania. Some of the killer haunted places actually have to do with Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That's why I won't say suck. I live here. That's a bad word. But I will say it's not very good. Any road you see up and around Grampian Hills or up around the west, not the west side, but you go up Market Street, you get to what's now, I guess, a church, um, and you go 90 degrees left and go up into that area, up and behind Louisa Street. But I'm talking way up where the nice houses are. Up around, I won't say up and around Manicare, but it's down below Manicare. Where if you technically go up Raven Road, you'll see a road that comes down left, on the left side. You go up in and around that road, you'll see roads blocked off on Raven Road. We also see other roads gated off. The interesting part of it is all those places, one, they're not public places, but there's problems with houses up there. So normally I go up in there and check on them, but just lately, haven't really felt like it. If you go to Wildwood, is it Wildwood? No, it's Wildwood Road. You go all the way out Wildwood, and you go down. You start to go down a little bit. You'll see stones off to the left side. Trying to remember if that actually is a road into Wildwood, or is that the road to what they call a certain place. That most people walk down that road and they see a house and whatnot, and there's all kind of mixed reports on this one, but some say you walk in the house, you walk over, and next thing, because it's almost next to the Wisest Market, you'll find yourself at the bottom of the river. And I'm not talking necessarily in the river, but it's like you walk through the house and fall right down to the woods. How truthful that is whether or not it's still relevant, but just for, some would say, precautionary to put the stones out front. That is, all these properties I'm talking about are unpurchasable in the sense of also unleasable. There had been rumor that Manicare had been a problem, and the other one, which I haven't actually done any investigations, but if they did clear those two properties, then I don't know if I would really say they cleared it, because I see some pretty weird things up there, but it'd be a good question whether or not they did, because I know I didn't do it. There's another, I wouldn't call these haunted in the sense of haunted. I mean, I just flat out call them what they are, and that is highly suspicious. Whether or not what they refer to as dead is still there, because most of them are. As far as I know, they're not as bad as the New Jersey Asylum, where at one time New Jersey Asylum, you couldn't even drive by the entrance to the New Jersey Asylum without almost dying completely on the spot. So, even in a car. Yeah. So, as far as the stories, I'm not really looking for the story. I'm just looking to see whether or not they are or aren't. That, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure out this one part, because they call these places Manicare, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that the sign in front is Manicare. Okay, so don't get me wrong with that part, but it seems like a lot of people have problems within certain areas. To where back in 1988, I got a list of places to just kind of drive by and see what was going on, to be not nosy, but just to go up and, kind of walk up a road and see if anything was going on. The other mansion in around Woolwich, now that's just flat out, that's gated, it has a name on it, and the reason why it has a name on it is because it is 100% off limits, even to myself. It's one guy I take, and every now and then it goes up that way. A lot of people have reported problems in and around that area, and it is true. So far, it's not a real major problem. So that's a good part. The other one is Lock Haven. Lock Haven does have its one problem. What is it? If the old, I think they had this one tore down, the old Bauhaus Institution building, where it used to be that all the trees were trimmed so that at nighttime you could go up there and you'd ring the bell and there'd be telescopes and stuff, and you could technically look through the telescopes at gazing. Some highly expensive telescopes that don't look really expensive, but they are 9 glass inner rods, or not rods, but 9 glass inner magnifiers that could actually see the surface of the moon. And very expensive because they're all bronze. Now, as far as what they claim that one was you would sit there, or not sit there, but you'd walk in to like not a pavilion, but around terrace like, and you would see a person standing next to the telescope. And even if you were a living person, or not a person that's alive, and they were always telling you to stay away from that person where he stands, or where she stands. Because they claim that they would try to smash your head into the telescope. How nice is that? Let's see, there's more haunted places in and around Pennsylvania, but as far as being some of the worst, I hate to say it, but they're right in Williamsport, Jersey Shore, Lock Haven, Avis areas. There's another one in Lock Haven. If you get down by the college and you follow the road out, if you go by the river, it's going to be right at the college intersection. You'll see gated driveways. Some of them maintained, some of them aren't. Out towards Heiner, right before Heiner. And some of those places actually are haunted. And when I say haunted, those gates, especially the one that has actually a fence gate. I brought a European African-made fence. I know European, yeah, a European African-made fence, in to actually put in front of that with a round braid fence. Now, granted, it doesn't matter what it is, but it definitely it's a 13-foot fence. And it's actually in and around the whole entire property, because the people that actually put the fence in, 4 of them died and ended up out alongside that roadway. And like I said, 4 people have died out there. And they were all stacked up, not stacked up, but laid next to one another. As if someone just like, oh, there you go. No one can explain that though. How 4 dead guys covered up end up by the roadway. And where no construction company, not even GSI, or even some of the major companies did not want to do the job of putting a gate up, which the gate and the fence were, I think the rumor was if you go up there you hear the smashing in the woods, and then all of a sudden it's like it's right in front of you and then you hear your neck break. So yeah, out there is not a very good place to actually be. Another one was up in around Willow. When I say Willow, you'll see Willow's Diner and whatnot. And if you keep going in past Willow's Diner or whatever that is, you look to the right at the inlets in the mountain, used to be what looked like a bunch of homes for midgets or small people. And all of a sudden you'll notice today there's no homes there for small people. So anyway, that was interesting. I know a bunch of governments got in trouble. Saudi Arabia got in trouble. Algeria got in trouble. The Congo, which is the African government, got in trouble. Singapore didn't. But anyway, the point of it is these places over here got in trouble for trying to bring active dead things here. When I say active dead things, when you get this truck and trailer and you open it up and there's nothing there in front of you. But you and your friends knew that something was banging on the side of the trailer or in the trailer. That's what they often call active. Doesn't mean dead, it just means active. Now, some of these places, even in my one video, it's kind of funny. You hear me say in the video, "What's up, SA?" You know, and then I turn around, and all of a sudden, the corner post in the pavilion lock haven, you can see, because I moved away from the alignment of the post, you can see a light flickering. And you'd almost swear someone was walking down the path. But at the same time, if you watch that shadow right where that post is, you'll see a shadow move in and out of it. And then all of a sudden it goes a little further, and then it goes back, but it keeps blocking the street light on the dam. Which is for some people kind of like, what is that? Well, that's exactly what you think it is, in some senses. But most of the time it won't do anything. It just likes to stand where that post is. But that's about it. I know down in Philadelphia and North Carolina, South Carolina, California, Florida, and New York, there's some really, really active haunted places. And as far as Penn State College, I kind of laugh to see you go up there right now because you would definitely get your rear end kicked. One reason is I normally they'll send me over to kind of tag and bag people to take back to where they need to go, and seeing the paranormal movies, they got a Wicca person, and then they got a pagan. It's like, the only thing I gotta say is you're going at this all wrong, because if you would actually SPLT them, if you got two people and they're not going to do anything, they're going to go away and it's going to get silent and you're not going to get any activity, and all your EMP readings are jokes. EMP, I got an EMP reading, it's stronger here. No crap, it's an outlet right down there. But anyway, I know one person, the other paranormal group out of, I think, Rhode Island, got their rear ends kicked so bad that they actually, the one girl was saying that she was fighting something that she couldn't see, but she could see the blackness of it in the light that was there. So I think they went into it's not conquering. Stop saying conquering. I know conquering has its problems. Corsairian. They went into the Corsairian building up in and around Connecticut. No, it's in honestly. It's in Rhode Island. I think it's Massachusetts. But anyway, that building, you'll walk in and it'll be all fine and dandy until you kind of gotta leave. And they like to play little games. I mean, there's 5 paranormal groups that are totally missing inside the United States. Some speculate 20 different groups have gone missing throughout the United States, where you walk into a building just like you walk in your house, but you'd never be able to get out. These are not paranormal. If they're anything, they are mental people. And when I say mental, it means that they have the capability and depth to blind you and keep you inside a building. So, I mean, and everyone else, they keep it up and keep it up and keep it up, so they're never found out. Even a cop, FBI, border agent, would have a huge problem getting out of that building. There are places like this. Anyway, that's what I'm going to say. So, in the sense of if you travel in and around, especially the wooded area, in around certain areas of Pennsylvania, because there are wooded areas, but mainly out in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana, Washington, up around the mountain ranges, there are some negative ground-fed readings. And when I say negative ground-fed readings, it's where you have a true compass, and all of a sudden, a non-water-based compass, that compass just starts spinning. And when that compass starts spinning, you need to get the heck out of that area quick. And the reason is, it's not a magnet, because magnets don't spin. It's the one thing often referred to as tagging a dead person is a certain device used that sets off compasses to spin. This may sound like BS, but it's underneath the ground, so it often notes the territory where they can't go. So you may hit a pack. When you hit a pack, your compass will spin, and then you have roughly however close or far away this thing is, a few seconds to a minute to get out of that area. Or you'll be on a list, just like a lot of the lists I have, of people who have gone missing. I've seen people go missing in what quote-unquote haunted places in Pennsylvania and found dead in, Wyoming or Montana. That's nothing uncommon. That's about all I got to say as far as that question. Some would say they take it, as being a problem. It is a problem. But some will say that they don't take it seriously enough. Their problem. I mean, I'm not going to sit there and go running after paranormal groups just because they're being stupid enough to provoke something that cannot be physically seen. That's their problem. Anyway, have a good day.